great day. The exciting call for you today. It is October 1st. Start 90-day run, last quarter of the year. The exciting time about that. Wait for a few more people to join us on the line here. And then get started. Welcome, everyone. Let's get started as soon as the music dies down here. You're having a great Sunday afternoon. I've actually been in a class all day and just stepped down to this call. It's an online class, so didn't have to step out too far. So, hi, everyone. My name is Wayne Wallace, and I'd like to welcome you to the Success Coaching Call. Whether you're listening to the live call or listening to the recording, I'd like to congratulate you for taking this step towards reaching your goals. I do this call every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and if you're listening to the recording at a later date, you can always find the live call-in information on my website at waynewallace.com. My mission is to share with you the things that I'm learning and using every day to become more successful in my life and business. I don't claim to be some superstar expert guru. I'm just a regular person like you that's trying to make small improvements every day. Success is a choice, and you are in charge. Since you're listening to this live call or recording, obviously you made the right choice today, and I applaud you for that. They did a study of 100 people, and they found that only 5% of them achieved success. So let's look at the definition of success that they used. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So I invite you to take a progressive step each week and join me on this live call or listen to the recording later on. On today's call, as I mentioned in the pre-call, I'm going to be talking to you today about 90-day runs. We are at the start of a 90-day run today. Today is October 1st, 2017, the end of the fourth quarter. The beginning of the fourth quarter, the end of the year. I'm also going to be talking to you about time management and how to manage your time better. And lastly, I'll be talking about intentions. So let's jump right in. Let me ask you this question. How has the beginning part or the rest of the year been for you? We're in the last quarter. How's your last 3 quarters been? Have you been achieving the results that you expected to achieve? Or do you feel like you could have done more? Well, now is a great time, regardless of what you've done. Maybe you've done a lot, maybe you've done a little, maybe you haven't done anything. Now is a great time to make a change and do something different. So I invite you to take the next 90 days. Pretty much anyone can do anything for 90 days. It's only 3 30-day periods, right? And when you break down a month, you've got 4 weeks. It's really not that long of a time when you kind of break it all down. So I plan on making a 90-day run in my business, okay? And I want to make this the best quarter of my life. I plan on running hard for the next 90 days, and I'm looking for people that want to run hard with me and make this their best quarter ever. So if that's you, then I'll tell you how to join me in that later on. We all have the same amount of time in a day, right? And how come some people get a lot done and other people don't get much done? or anything done? Well, it's time management. They need to learn how to manage their time better. So I learned this time management technique from my mentor and coach, Eric Lofholm. And he looked at a whole bunch of different time management systems, as have I. And he really didn't like many of them, or he liked pieces and parts of some, but not the whole thing as a whole. And I've kind of been that way myself. So when I learned Eric's system, I thought, okay, well, this is nice and simple. I can do this. So I'm going to teach it to you. So basically, if you look at a day, what do we got? We got 24 hours, okay? And if we take 60 minutes and we multiply it times that 24, we get 1,440 minutes in a day. And if you just take 1% of that time and you do some planning, then you can plan out the rest of those minutes in the day. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take 14 minutes, that's 1% of the 1,440, and we're going to make a plan for the next day or the day, depending on when you do it. If you do it the night before, then it's for the next day, and if you do it in the morning, maybe while you're having your coffee, then you can plan out your day for that particular day. So what's going to happen when you do this is you're going to be more successful because you're going to have a focus on getting the things done that need to be done. All right? So let me explain to you how you're going to plan. All right? So we're going to take 14 minutes, no more, no less, just 14 minutes. It's not complicated. Anyone can do this. First, we need to develop a set of questions that we're going to ask ourselves in this 14 minutes to develop our plan. And part of the purpose of the subconscious mind is to answer any questions that we may ask of it. So let's take a look at some sample questions here that I wrote out for myself, and you can feel free to use some of these or modify them and make up your own questions. So I'm just going to read through these questions, and you can get the idea. What level am I committed at playing at today from 1 to 10? How many new prospects will I reach out to today? What did I not get done yesterday? What are my top 10 things I need to get done today? What must I accomplish today, no matter what? How will I lead my team today? How will I improve my health today? How many steps will I take today? How will I express my appreciation to others today? How will I serve my customers today? How many follow-up calls will I make today? How many sales will I make today? What deliverables will I create today? What is the low-hanging fruit today? How many new friends will I make today? How many presentations will I give today? How many people will I put in front of a webinar today? How many people will I invite to a live event today? How many pages will I read of a book today? How will I become a better leader today? How will I become a better coach today? How many pages will I write for my book today? And the last one, how many social media posts will I make today? So that's just some of the questions that I came up with. You can come up with your own. And during that 14-minute planning session, you should read these questions and write down the answers. Now, you can do this either on paper or your computer. I'm a computer guy, so I like to just make a notepad or whatever in a text file and just write down my answers right underneath the question. And then the next thing you want to do is prioritize them using the 80-20 rule. okay? And decide, which of them has the highest priority in terms of value, and which items you absolutely need to get done today. And you may not finish all of the things on your list, and that's why in the list I had that question of what didn't I accomplish yesterday. So you can carry over those things to today, and maybe you'll get them done today. And maybe they're not the highest priority things, so maybe they don't get done until 2 or 3 days from now. But at least they're always on your list, and they're being carried forward, and they're top of mind because you see them every day. It's super easy to do. I mean, anyone can do this. You don't need any special software. You don't need any, special notebooks or anything like that. You just need a piece of paper or even your phone. You can use, a text application on your phone or a list type application on your phone and do this. Okay? So if you like this idea, let me know by dropping me an email at wins@waynewallace.com or text me at 702-238-9413. Okay? So now let's talk about setting your intentions for the day. People say to me all the time, I don't want to do sales, it's too hard. Or they say things like, I can't do sales, I'm not good at it. Well, here's what I like to say. The field of sales is not that hard. You're just asking people if they want something or not. Where it gets hard is people take it personally, and they get discouraged, and they avoid doing what should be done, and they just quit, and that's why they say it's hard. So let me put it this way. Let's put it in a different context. Let's say you're a waiter or a waitress, and you work in a diner that serves breakfast and coffee and things like that. And your task as a waiter or waitress is to go around and take orders, right? And so you go to each table, and you may take their order, and you also would ask if they would like some coffee. So you go to the table and you say, would you like some coffee? And maybe a person says yes or no, and you say, okay, and you go to the next table. Would you like some coffee? And they say yes or no. And you go to the next table, and you ask if they'd like some coffee, and they say yes or no. So are you going to get discouraged and go run to your boss if, everybody said no, they don't want any coffee, and say that it's too hard because people don't want coffee? No, you're not going to do that. You're just going to keep on going to the next table and ask them if they want some coffee. Sales is just like that, and that's how you need to look at it. You're just asking people if they want some coffee, okay? You have your prospects, and you go ask them for the order, and either they order or they don't. You can't force people to do things. Now, through learning how to be a better salesperson and how to use certain techniques, then you can maybe turn some of those no's into yeses, because let's face it, people just have a reactive no, right? No, I'm not interested. If you see a child and a parent interacting in a store, or maybe you have kids of your own, and you're in a store and you're shopping for groceries, and you're checking out, and they see all that lovely candy right there at the candy aisle, right? And they're like, mommy, I want some candy. And what's your first reaction? No, you can't have any candy, right? And people, when they go in maybe clothes shopping, they walk into a department store, and they're just browsing around looking, and maybe there's an eager salesperson that runs right over to you and says, what can I help you with? Do you need any help? And you're like, no, I don't need any help, I'm just looking, right? It's just automatic. It just comes out. And, people typically aren't even educated about what it is that you're offering yet, and they're saying no. So, you can make it easier on yourself by learning from some good sales coaches and mentors. And I'll actually be talking about a lot of that here on the Success Coaching Call, so be sure to stay plugged in. If you want some personal coaching, then I can also do that one-on-one with you. So, the point is we need to make the call, okay? Whether it's an in-person call or a phone call or an email or whatever, you need to make the call. You need to try and get the appointment set to do that business. So I was talking with someone the other day, and they said they needed to make a certain number of sales by the end of the week. And we were sitting at a coffee shop and just talking about business. And I said, well, that's easy. I said, how many people do you need to talk to close a deal? And they said 10. And that they could close one deal out of 10. I said, okay, well, let's set a goal of doing 25 sales appointments a day. And you should get 2 to 3 sales a day, right? And that they would have met their goal if they did that. So do you need to make more sales? Well, you need to make more calls, right? And some people hesitate picking up the phone and making that call or going out and knocking on a door if that's how they do it. So let's just make a game out of it, because sometimes when you make a game out of things, it's not so hard, and it's a little bit easier to do if you make a game out of it. And obviously we all like to win, and do better when we're playing a game. So it kind of changes the psychology of sales when you put it in that game mindset. So when you make your planning list that we talked about earlier, decide how many calls you're going to make and put that at the top of the list and make sure you do that every day. So let's just say you're going to make 25 calls a day. And that's your goal, is to make 25 calls a day to new people. Okay? Of course, you got to have those leads. You got to have a list or something that you're going to have to build. But let's just say you've got that list and you're going to make those 25 new calls a day. All right? What I want you to do is either take out a piece of paper or just one of those regular index cards with the lines on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a tick mark on that piece of paper or card every time you make a call. So you're going to basically record, okay, I made 1 call, 2 calls, 3 calls. And then when you get to 5, you put the line through the 4, right, your typical tick mark fashion. And you keep a record of how many calls you make every day. So what I like to do is I have an index card and then a box, your old-fashioned box of index cards. And what I like to do is I like to separate them by month. And every day when I make calls, I put a tick mark. And then I can take that card at the end of the day and I can put it in that day folder. So if I want to look back over time and see how my calls have been doing, it's real easy. I just go right to my box and I can see how many calls I've been making. Okay? And, here's the thing. It's all about mindset. And whether you make the calls or not, whether you do your daily planning or not, you don't want to beat yourself up if you didn't do it. Okay? Because tomorrow is another day, and you can simply say, okay, today I'm gonna do my calls, or I'm gonna plan my day. And if you do it, then give yourself a little pat on the back and say, good job. You did what you were supposed to do today. It's just like exercising. If you plan on exercising every day and then you don't do it, sometimes you beat yourself up for it. So don't do that. Just say, tomorrow's another day. I can get back on the horse and do what I need to do. Okay? So that's our intention, is to do the calls and to do the daily planning. And, if you write it down, then you're going to have more success with that. Also, if you tell someone what your intentions are, then you have some accountability. Okay? So if you don't have a coach yet, I'd be happy to be your coach. You can email me your intentions or your goals at wins@waynewallace.com. That's WINS at waynewallace.com. Or you can text me at 702-238-9413. So I'd like to leave you with a little quote that I heard. I don't know who the original author is, but it's a great quote, and I just posted it yesterday, and I thought I'd share it with you today. It's, most people never change, but sometimes they do. I'll say that again for you. Most people never change, but sometimes they do. So think about that. In closing, I'd like to thank you for listening to the Success Coaching Call today and tell you that I believe in you. Even if your belief is not quite there yet, I will be the one that believes in you right now. You can become successful at anything that you want to do. As a thank you for listening, I'd like to offer you a free success coaching session with me. During this session, I will help you gain clarity and help you position yourself to reach your goals. Just visit my website, waynewallace.com, and schedule your free coaching session today. You'll find a link right there on the website. Be sure to join me on the next Success Coaching Call next Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. And if you can't make it, just visit the podcast website at goforyes.com. That's GOFORYES.com. Until then, have a success-filled day.